Hey guys, how's it going? Mercer here, and I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough over how you can set up a personalized AI SDR or reply agent without having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars possibly, right? Now, the purpose of this agent is to practically manage your inbox for you, reply to the leads, and follow them up with them to get them to a desired end goal, like book and call, without you having to do any of the manual work. Now, the simplest way to do this is by connecting the BrandJet MCP to Claude by pasting in a simple link that I will add in the description down below. Once that's done, you practically have an AI-powered sales and some outreach infrastructure at your disposal to create multiple different kinds of AI agents. And I'll show you what that looks like. Yeah, so once all that's done and you've set up yourself, you want to head over back to your Claude Cowork session, and this is where we're going to actually build out the AI SDR. I'm going to keep it very simple and just use a simple prompt to build this out. So in this prompt, I'm just going to clarify that I want it to run hourly. So it's checking in the main box and messages every single hour. I want to handle founder-led outreach, so only campaigns that relate to me. And I've given it access. I've gone ahead and asked it to go over, look at my stamp documents, my meeting notes, and all of those good things to give it an idea as to how it has to reply, right? It needs to understand how I talk, what my cadence is, what trigger words I use, what are my tics, all those good things, just so it can write and type exactly like me. So now that I've given Claude this access, and feel free to give it as much information as you want, and especially information about your business and the offer that you're trying to sell, because this is my own personal Claude account and it already knows everything that I'm working on, everything that I'm pitching. So it's going to go ahead and use that and basically refer to that every single time it has to reply to someone, right? Now, while it's building this, it's important to keep in mind that you can personalize this to any degree that you'd like. I don't recommend building out just one agent. I recommend building out multiple different kinds of reply agents with their own personality. So maybe I've built out one for myself here, and then I'll build out another one for my more technical co-founder, or maybe I'd build out another completely separate one, maybe audiences or older audiences, right? And if you want to personalize them more, feel free to add in your WhatsApp conversations, copies of those things, copies of your DMs, copies of your meetings. All of those things play a massive role in determining how accurate and how specific this AI reply agent can be. And that's what makes a difference. Now, chances are Claude is going to ask you some follow-up questions in terms of how you'd like this to be managed, right? So maybe you just want your AI SDR to reply every single week or just give you a daily roundup. Or maybe you want to give it full autonomy and just straight up reply to every single message that's coming inside. And like I said, you can decide what kind of messages it's replying to on what channel. Maybe you just want to do LinkedIn, or maybe you just want to do email. You can decide all of that inside these prompts, and Claude will ask you some of these questions by itself, so you don't have to worry too much. You can always change these things later on. Now, after a little bit of waiting, so Claude's gone through all of my conversations, it's analyzed them, analyzed my patterns, and understood all of that, and now my setup for the AI SDR is ready. Now, the first thing you're going to probably see is a scale file or a document that essentially goes over a breakdown over what the AI SDR does, how it's designed, and how it's supposed to work like. So this has essentially components of how you talk, right? And it basically is telling you exactly how the AI SDR is going to respond. So pay close attention to this, because this is one of those things where you want to understand and kind of really nitpick and perfect the agent. This is a single thing that determines how the agent is going to respond, right? And this has to be really good. Otherwise, it really doesn't matter. Right, so take a look, understand, and make sure that your company's information is accurate. If you have any other documents or even past conversations from other places that you want to supplement, add that in and just train it even more. So right now, I just asked it to give me a quick run over the batch that it just processed. So it pulled 3 of recent emails that we had sitting inside the inbox and drafted up a personalized response in a tone that's similar to something I would say myself. So with that being said, it can now automatically send these if I wanted to. You could obviously give you email updates every single hour, every day, however you'd like. And in a simple few minutes, you basically set up your SDR.